The first companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first supporter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? The first wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our mother. And we get closer to Allah Azza wa Jalla by loving her. She was a mountain in Iman. And we saw that with the beginning of the Risala. A mountain in Iman, unshakable Iman and certainty. And she was a mountain in steadfastness upon the religion and patience in the face of adversity. And she was a mountain in her loyalty to her husband, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And she was a true example in how to make the akhirah your main concern. And to not concern a person with the dunya, even though the dunya was given to her. Right? Her greatest concern, this wealth that Allah Ta'ala gave her, she put it all in her what? In her bank account of the akhirah. Right? And also what? Her balanced household management. And so with all of her wealth and all of her financial support and with all of her emotional support and sticking by the Prophet ﷺ and being loyal to him, being his backbone, with all of that, she raised all of his kids. And how many children did she have for him? 6 children. 2 boys and 4 daughters. The 2 boys were Al-Qasim and Abdullah, and the 4 daughters were Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum and Fatima radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. She raised all of these children. Ahsana tarbiyah, the best of upbringings and nurturing. And not only did she raise these children, also her own children from previous marriages, and also she even raised the adopted son of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Zayd ibn Haritha, right? And she also raised her as Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu, right? And Ali radiyallahu anhu, right? And so she raised a generation from the greatest of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhu, right? And so there is nothing wrong with a woman being a housewife and a nurturer, right? Because today's society teaches us what? You're just a housewife. You don't work. What are you doing with your life? You're wasting your life. Right? From the greatest things that a woman can do for herself in her religion is to be a nurturer. Following in the footsteps of Khadija radiyallahu anha, right? The feminists only want to speak about how she was a CEO, right? Businesswoman. They don't want to speak about how she was a nurturer, right? A nurturer. And this was the way of the scholars, right? The way of the scholars usually had what? Righteous mothers behind them, raising them. Such as Sufyan al-Thawri, right? Sufyan al-Thawri, his mother played a crucial role in his upbringing. He's from the Salaf, from the Tabi'een. And so she would say, "Oh my son, seek knowledge and I will suffice you with my spinning." Right? She wanted her son to be a scholar of Islam. That was her project in her life. From the greatest projects that a mother can do is what? Say, "Ya Allah, this child of mine, I want him to be the next scholar of Islam. I want him to be the next reviver of Islam. This is my sadaqah jariyah, Ya Allah." She would support him in this. And Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, the Imam of Ahl Sunnah, he lost his father before birth. And so who raised him? His mother, rahimahullah. And so she raised him in poverty. And she would wake him up before Fajr. And she would warm his water in winter so he can make wudu. Right? And she would accompany him to the mosque for Fajr prayers. And she would wait for him until he finished his studies, his Quran memorization and the likes. She pushed him into this path of knowledge. And he became Imam Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Right? And also Imam al-Bukhari, right? The one that authored and compiled the most authentic book after the Quran. Who was behind all of this? His mother. He was raised as an orphan by his mother. Imam al-Bukhari, right? He was raised by his mother as an orphan. And she was patient and dedicated to the teaching of her son. The point is that there is nothing wrong with being a nurturer. It's from the greatest doorways to Allah Azza wa Jalla. Just like it was a great doorway for Khadija radiyallahu anha. Okay, our mother. But also from this, what stood out from her radiyallahu anha is her patience with the slander and the mockery and the boycotting of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She didn't bail when things got tough, right? So during the boycott, what happened to her wealth? It was depleted completely. Right? Did she say, "Khalas, I'm out. I can't take it anymore"? She stuck by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the extent that many of the ulama mention that the reason why she even died radiallahu anha was shortly after the boycott ended. And so that affected, the boycott affected her health because of the hunger and the starvation and the thirst and the likes that they went through. But she stuck it out. She was patient for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and Allah Ta'ala raised her because of that.